There you are.
And finally, we have the Sustainable Shipping Days that will be chaired tomorrow by Asif Ansar.
The shipping industry is a necessity of our economic growth. The humanity needs it. But at the same time, there's a challenge that this growth is linked with the growth of emissions. There are mandates, there are regulations, but for the sustainability, the shipping industry has to go through a paradigm shift to reduce those emissions. And Nautilus project is a stepping stone towards enabling the shipping industry to achieve that. We aim to develop a new energy system to electrify the ships, a high efficiency engine based on solid oxide fuel cells and batteries hybrid. Together, they will increase the overall efficiency of the fuel conversion to 65% electric. And if the heat could be utilized, this will go as high as 90% of the efficiency. And more importantly, we aim to reduce the particulate materials and air pollution by as much as 99%.
My name is Olivier Bucholi. I'm organizer of the European Electrolyzer and Fuel Cell Forum in Lucerne, established since 1994. We want to build a bridge between the deep tech part of our conference handling electrochemistry. How can we move from combustion technologies towards electrochemistry, also in applications like the maritime sector? And the Sustainable Shipping Days think this through from the beginning, from the ports over the fuel into the chemical transformation of fuel into electricity to serve the shipping needs. That's the ambition, building a bridge. The Nautilus project, when we started to draft that project, we had the ambition to bring the fuel cells on board. It's important to think in what step can we do next. We knew exactly that it was not yet at the scale really required, but to overcome the individual steps, to put it in this environment and to exchange with all the stakeholders across the value chain in Nautilus is very important. And this is the true value, to understand where are all these issues and what are the next steps required to make this happen.
I go behind the scene.
Paulo und Andrea sent me yesterday by email.
It's by email.
Yeah. Can I send it to you? And then I send you another second email again.
Hello, good morning.
Morgen. Hello, good morning. I'm Asif Ansar from DLR, and together with me is...
I'm Alessandro Sissigno, project manager from Solidera.
What is the competitive advantage of Nautilus Genset? Tell us about it.
Yes, thanks Asif for your question. The Nautilus Genset is based on a solid oxide technology. The advantages of this technology are multiple. The most important one is, of course, the emission reduction that it allows. Very high efficiency that this technology can reach. We talk about 60% efficiently in power generation, which can go up to 90% with heat recovery. Cost reduction, especially with new fuels, with synthetic fuels. And last but not least, also the scalability of this technology, because it's possible to, let's say, increase the power into a very limited space.
What's keep you going?
I actually come from the oil and gas business. Most of my career is in the oil and gas business. And I decided to switch and go into solid oxide technology because I do believe that we are making an impact in the world. The fuel cells in general can really change the world we live in. It's an epochal change that we are going through, and I believe that Solidera and us in this kind of projects, we are really making a difference and playing a role in this.
You are going to make your movie right now.
No, I have, I need powder and all this. I know it's a mistake anyway.
No, you look good. You look good.
My name is Sabine Rieck, and we are in Lucerne at the moment, having just finished the project management meeting for Nautilus. Nautilus is an EU-funded project. I don't call myself Spider, but a hub. So I'm basically the hub, communication hub as such. I work for DLR, the German Aerospace Center, and the processes are supported or enhanced by outside entities like the EU and internal processes. But for the coordinator role, we still have to put out our own processes, and those are communicated. Essentially, I find this is a solution-driven project, and it makes us, or me, feel like I'm making the world a bit better than it is at the moment.
Yeah, so I start to record here and so we have here 4 meetings running.
And you're the only person who has 2 signs.
Sorry, I have 3. And another one is also there. So that's for all the meetings. So in the shipping days, the grid service market, and the European Electrolyzer and Fuel Cell Forum.
We are doing it by bringing 9 partners from all over the Europe who are really the experts on different building blocks of the technology. We are doing the best engineering of this technology together and building the first proof of concept of this technology in the Project Nautilus. Afterwards, the challenge of scalability remains. We need to go from a kilowatt scales that we are today to a megawatt, and a repeat unit of 10 megawatt has to be achieved. It's a challenge itself of the technology, but more so about investments and funding.
So you're going to edit this, and I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, thanks.
My name is Dheeraj Kosala. I am a research scientist at the DLR Institute of Maritime Energy Systems, coming to you live from Sustainable Shipping Days in Lausanne. HELENA stands for High Efficiency, Low Emissions, Nautical Solid Oxide Fuel Cell. So we have a combination of simulation-based approaches where we develop simulations and control algorithms. We want to install a 500 kilowatt module on board of a ship and eventually lay the pathway for a 20 megawatt installation where we can save 23% greenhouse gas emissions from a future installation, unlock about 60% electrical efficiency and about 85% combined heat and power efficiency from the fuel cells. I think it's all our moral imperative to work on decarbonization of transport because the greenhouse gas emissions as well as the criteria pollutant emissions are harmful for human life and for the planet in general. So the opportunity of being able to contribute to making the world a cleaner and a greener place is a pretty big driving factor for all of us.
Now, could we learn from these 2 examples, which is already every day in the shipping sector available, and bring it to the topic that we are looking at, developing fuel cell powertrains and electrolyzers for e-fuels, sustainable fuels for the shipping sector? I leave you to reflect on that. But I will encourage you, challenge the speakers, challenge us on different assumptions that we are taking. Your participation and your questions will be necessary for our own reflection and some of the assumptions that we are making in going forward, and probably improve our thinking and more critically going forward with that. With this, I will leave the floor to our first speaker.
My name is Santiago Salas Ventura. For me, Nautilus is a very relevant project because it provides an approach for delivering power from highly efficient solid oxide fuel cells into the energy system of a ship, which we know is transient. As a person, I am definitely interested in the development of our energy system for the entire society. I am concerned that all of the systems that we have nowadays could be definitely more efficient if we applied the necessary approaches. And I do see that, of course, the emissions reductions are very important. The pollutant reductions is also very important. And exactly the Project Nautilus is addressing all of these topics very directly. It's providing approaches that help to solve these issues.
We want you to have our transportation and economics going on without the carbon and non-carbon emission. So the future of us and future of our children are safe, cleaner, greener, and better, while shipping is continue to thrive. And that simply is the vision of Nautilus.
Ja.